You already know what time it is, man. We are back here to serve some more game on the ground for them hungry hounds who just got up the pound and are ready for the next round. So with that being said, man, make sure y'all grab y'all snacks, y'all drinks, whatever the case may be. And we finna jump right into this episode, man. This episode is kind of, when in hindsight, when you think about the topic that we're gonna be speaking on, when you put two and two together, it's kind of just like, dang, man, this stuff really is going on. This stuff really is happening, man. This stuff is, people are really doing this type of stuff. And it's crazy because we know places before in history that have gone down the same path and we know how they ended up. And it's crazy because we're going down those exact same paths that we know is going to end up. And it's crazy, man. And the topic of today's episode is going to be talking about how the West has fallen into godlessness, man. That's not just 100% facts, bro. You can't ignore the facts. You cannot ignore the fact that the West has fallen down into godlessness. You know, I look around, especially on social media, I see certain things, man. I see all kinds of different things that are happening, that are going on. And it's a shame. I gotta say, it is a shame, bro, because all you see nowadays is degeneracy. You see people being extremely destructive to themselves and to other people. You see them robbing stores, stealing from stores, being destructive toward each other, coming down hard on each other, just literally destroying each other, removing each other's lives. You see people indulging in very adulterated entertainment. You see them indulging in adulterated acts, things that when I see, and I'm just like, that's not entertaining to me. That's not pleasing to me. That's not something that sticks out to me like, ooh, yeah, I like that. Like, it's not. I see videos of people, shaking it just on camera, people throwing money at other people, people acting in degenerate ways, people stealing from each other, stealing each other's lives from each other, people doing all these things. And it's just like, man, it's funny because it don't make sense how we can read in history about certain places who have done the same things that we're starting to do, how they ended up, and how we end up doing the same things that they were doing that got them to where they're at now. They don't make no sense, but it really don't. When you read about Sodom and Gomorrah, what happened to them? They were judged heavily for their actions. The city was judged heavily for its actions, and it was destroyed, literally destroyed, with fire from heaven. I mean, it was burnt up. People in there didn't survive, gone, because of the actions that they were indulging in, which is the same thing that the West is indulging in. And it makes you wonder, it's like, what's influencing these actions? The world is rotting, that's 100% facts. What is influencing these actions? What influenced the previous city in history to do the same things and become destroyed? And what's influencing this quote unquote city or land, whatever you want to call it, the West? What's influencing the West to do the things that it's doing? And when you put two and two together, it's just like, dang, man, it's like the West has become the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. It really has. There's no other way you can put it. That's just how it is, unfortunately. We indulge in all these different things. We accept all these different things that shouldn't be accepted, man. We reject the things that should be accepted. And we just keep moving more and more towards the destruction, our own destruction. And it's a shame, man, because you can see where we're all going, but nobody else wants to see it. Nobody else wants to see it. Nobody else wants to make that change. Nobody else wants to get that off my screen. Nobody else wants to do anything to change, to alter the course that we're on. And if they do, guess what? They get shut down by other people who have fallen for it, by higher powers that are in control. They get shut down with legal problems, so to speak. And it's like we're on a steady path to destruction. That's why what's going on right now is exactly what's going on right now, because we allowed it to happen. You can't make this up. The reason that we have the problems that we have right now in the West is because we allowed the things that are going on right now in the West to happen. Simple as that. And most people don't necessarily want to acknowledge the fact that the people are the ones that are responsible for it. Because at the end of the day, who's really in charge? The people, right? People are in charge. But because people allowed certain things to go on, people allowed certain things to be accepted, people allowed certain things in everyday life to be accepted in society. Now look at where it's gotten us. Nowhere. We're not thriving. We're not balling. We're not living our lives. We're not living the dream, so to speak. We're not. They're not. But I say we as society as a whole, all human beings in the West, most human beings in the West, we're not living the way that we should be living. You might have something, you might have money, you might have cars, you might have a big house, but internally you have nothing. There is nothing inside of you. You have no real peace. There's nothing good that comes out of you. All you're thinking about is getting to the next business meeting, or getting to the next, getting your next check, getting that next car, getting that big house, getting that female down the road or at the coffee shop. That's all you're thinking about. That's coming out of you internally. That's why there's no real peace, because you're always thinking about what can you get next. And that's why so many people live the way they live. They don't live happily. They don't live joyfully. They live in want, greed. They live in the spirit of gluttony. They're always taking. What can I take? What can I take? What can I take? It's never what can I give, it's what can I take. And that's 100% facts. People want to take more than they want to give because they're afraid to lose. That's just how it is. People want to take more than they want to give because they're afraid to lose what they have. They have a fear of, oh no man, well I ain't gonna have this if I give this or give that. Or if I say this, I'm gonna lose what I have already. Instead of just doing what they're supposed to do. Doing what they're supposed to do. I'm gonna now let's get some of these people up out of here. If people were to focus more on the results that they would get from doing what they're supposed to do instead of losing what they might have and doing what they're supposed to do, there would be a whole lot more that would get done. Externally, around them, and internally, inside them, there would be a whole lot more that would be done. And they would feel a whole lot different inside too. But they don't care. They don't care. They would rather stingily hold on to what they have instead of lose a little bit of it to gain a whole lot more. That's a fact. It's a shame. But that's just how people think. They've been, I won't necessarily say hardwired, but over time they've been subtly taught to think that way. they've been subtly taught to think that way through social media. Do what you want. Oh no, man. Well, this is yours, so you can do this, you can do that, or you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Man, this is your life. You can do whatever you want. And that might be true, but people got to sit back and think about the consequences of doing A, B, C, and D. You know, it's all like they are programmed themselves. They become programmed by way of social media. You know, these quote unquote influencers or whatever telling them, nah, man, do this. Nah, man, you should do that. Oh, no, man, this is your life. Do this, do that. And we forget the whole purpose of the whole original reason as to why human beings were created in the first place. Let's get the excuse up out of here. But we've forgotten the whole reason why we're here in the first place. And that was to serve. The lowliest of servants. Now this is a quote. It's not a. It's a paraphrase. But Jesus said, "The lowliest servant on earth, or the lowliest servant in heaven, is the greatest on earth." Something along those lines. He said that we're not meant to be all the way up. We're supposed to help each other. We're supposed to serve each other. He said, just made it, didn't get nothing. Oh, no, you straight. But even he came to serve as a servant. Even Jesus came to serve as a servant. He came to serve the game and live the way that we're supposed to live and show us how to live the way we're supposed to live. And that's what people don't understand, is that when he came as a servant, the second time he'll come as king. The first time he came as a servant to show us how to live, how to serve each other. Because in serving each other, we also learn how to serve God better than what we do right now. And that's the whole original purpose of what we were supposed to do when we were put on earth, was to serve God. He gave each and every single person, human being, a gift in their own way that everybody would use to serve for his purpose. Everybody, there is a divine purpose upon everybody, and he gave everybody a gift, whether it's singing, whether it's building, whether it's counting, no matter what it is, whether it's thinking, whether it's talking, everybody has a gift. And with that gift is a divine purpose. But we've gone so far astray from that it's just like we've descended in society, at least the West, has descended into pure chaos. Pretty much. And it's a shame. And when I see these things on the internet, I think to myself, this is not what I want. This is not entertaining to me. It don't catch my eye. It really don't. When I see these things, I get disgusted. It makes me glad to know that I don't associate myself with these kinds of things. It does. Because I know that it's degenerate. I know that it's disgusting. I know that it's not what we're supposed to do. And it makes me glad to know that there are still some people out there who think similar to how I think, who want the similar things that I want, who believe in the similar things that I believe in. They're few, far in between, but they're out there. They get overshadowed by all the chaos that's going on out there in the world. And so if you ever find yourself settling for the chaos instead of sticking to your standards and sticking to what you believe in, you're going to fall for everything. That saying, they say, stand for nothing, fall for everything. That's 100% facts, bro. That's 100% facts. Stand on what you stand on. Believe in what you believe in. Even if other people say that it's wrong, even if other people say that it's fake, if it's the truth, it's the truth. Now, some people might say that the truth is subjective, but at the end of the day, there's only one truth, and it's up to us to search it out. Nobody's just going to come along and give it to you. Nobody's going to come along and say, oh, well, this is the truth right here, and this is what you need to do. You need to search it for yourself, because if somebody just told you what the truth is, you wouldn't believe it. But if you did your own research and see for your own eyes and think for your own mind, you would believe it. And let's go ahead and get this Keisha's up out of here. Seeking the truth, it takes more than a lot of people think. It takes an open mind, somebody who's willing to learn, somebody who's willing to humble themselves. And a lot of people these days, most people these days aren't willing to do so because they have this pride, this prideful sense about them. Oh, I know everything and you can't tell me nothing. They refuse to humble themselves so they can see the truth, so that they can rebuild themselves the way they're supposed to be rebuilt. And that's just how it is. Unfortunately, that's how it is. A lot of people have a prideful spirit that holds them down. They hold themselves down at the end of the day. They really do. We all hold ourselves down. We just got to learn to let go of certain things that make us prideful. What is it that makes you prideful? Have you thought about letting it go? Have you thought about revising your mindset, your thoughts? What do you take pride in that keeps you so high up to where nobody can tell you anything? Is it solid? Is it a solid foundation? Can somebody tear it down real quick? Most of the time they can. Most of the time it's not solid. Most of the time it's not a concrete foundation. Is it as strong as the foundation of the house that you sit in right now? Or the store that you walk into? If the wind blows on it, will it beat it down? Will it fall over? These are things you got to ask yourself. And if what you stand on ain't solid, why are you standing on it? If you know it's going to crash and crumble, why do you still stand on it? Why have you not gotten off of it? Why have you not made it more stable or found a better foundation? Why have you not reinforced it yet? It's just things to think about, man. It's just things that I be thinking about when I see stuff like this going on. There's more to live for than just adulterated acts and degenerate actions. There's more to live for than just that. Well, a lot of people think that to live, ooh man, if I want to live my life, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. All these exterior materialistic things. They think they need them things so they can be happy. It's still gonna leave you with an empty feeling inside, like you want more. Like there's still something missing. You still need this, you still need that. Oh, you ain't got this. Oh man, well you ain't a man yet. Or you ain't got this. Oh man, you ain't made it yet. But true happiness comes from the spirit inside. True happiness comes when you can wake up in a good mood. Whether you have a decent situation, a good situation, a bad situation, or a great situation. True happiness comes when you can wake up in a good mood. And most people can't because they're stuck in that want, I want this, I want that mentality. That's just how it is. So yeah, man, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get up on out of here. Make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, mummies, aunties, grannies, and everybody else that y'all know. Your boy Elevation and Growth will be going live in just a little bit, so make sure y'all go tap into that as well. And I'll see y'all over there. With that being said, I'm out. Deuces.